Your boy Angel, hope and pray that you're having a blessed day. I know I am. So I'll be showcasing guys tonight my Psy-Frames. I took this to locals today, went undefeated, got first. Very strong today. Deck had an excellent showing. I didn't have a problem playing against anything outside of chain burn, simply because just the way chain burn is, you're obviously just not used to playing against that all the time. But other than that, deck was just great, solid, just getting guys out of there. 2-0s. I think I go into game 3 only once. So that was just really, it's a really strong showing today, guys. So without further ado, let's show you guys what we're working with. Starting off, running 3 Psyframe Gear Gamma, MVP 1A today. I'll show you what 1B is later in the deck profile. Stops your opponent's monster effects. Just honestly, sometimes it's just completely shuts your opponent's turn down. So just a great card all around. Next up, 3 Delta, stops spells. Then 3 Beta, stops your opponent from pressing for damage, stops battle, and destroys whatever my opponent attacks with, and ends the battle phase. This really what makes it so, this keeps my opponent honest. This keeps them, from wanting to press for damage because, they don't want to lose, obviously, board presence, etc. And also this stops the OTK push because this also ends the battle phase, and then allows you to go into your not rank, but your level 7 synchros. So excellent card all around. Then finally for the hand traps, for Psyframe hand traps, just 2 alpha because I just find in testing I didn't need 3. And, it just really wasn't necessary. So, just be able to get the 2 searches. And then normally this is what I use to sync when I go for my Black Rose Dragon play. I'll drop this, search out more so than not another field spell or whatever because I'm obviously going to blow up field. And then be able to have a follow-up play and be able to utilize my hand traps to the fullness of their ability because I'll have another field spell to play. So this right here, just that 2 has been really solid. So that's all for those. 3 driver, simply because you need driver to be able to make your Psyframe plays. I understand some people, especially with the release of multi-threader, run, 2 of this, maybe 1 multi-threader, etc. Different ratios. But I like 3 driver. The driver is the most versatile between multi-threader and itself. This is without this is your bread and butter. This is what you need to be able to make your Psyframe plays count. So the 3 of this because it's just key and essential. So. And then finally, the 1 multi-threader. This really here actually came in big today. Didn't need it at more than 1. Just the 1 was fine. But it came in very solid because there's more than 1 instance where I had this in hand when my opponent was trying to ghost over my field spell when I was going for my synchro on their turn. So this was very solid. So 1 multi-threader, and that came in very clutch today. And the ratio right here, just worked very good for me. So I'm just gonna keep it like that for right now. No changes necessary. And that's it for the Psyframe package. Then next up, 2 card, obviously for consistency. Gives you the ability to draw cards. Obviously, you're not going to really try to, press for any kind of, play by yourself. It's a reactive deck, so therefore I can just afford to just normal summon this, draw 2, and then have a clear board, and then go to the end phase, and just to have board, just to have hand presence, and I'll be able to have more traps in my hand. So once again, 2 card for consistency, excellent. And then next up, 3 Ash. That rounds out the monsters. This was so solid today, and obviously everybody knows right now Ash is probably one of the best cards in the game, if not the best card in the game, probably next to Max C. So this right here, just too good. That rounds up the monsters right there. Then ran 3 Psyframe Circuit. This is what really allows you to be able to play to the fullness of your ability. You have to run this at 3. Next up, 2 Psychic Field Zone. So clutch today. Just in case you don't know what it does, I can take my banished psychic type monsters, put them back in my graveyard, and then I can special summon the synchro monster equivalent to the levels of whatever I put back in my graveyard. So this right here was so good today. Really solid. Just two is working just fine for me. 1 is not enough. 3 maybe a little bit too many, but the 2 is very solid. 2 Psychic Path, be able to add back. Sometimes you get caught in a situation where you don't have your field spell up, and you still want to be able to stop what your opponent is doing. And so this right here, this ratio just came in really handy for me because I always saw it when I needed it, and never when I didn't want it or whatnot. It was just always there when I needed the card, and it's just in a simple pay 8, add your psychic monsters back to your hand that are banished, etc. So this right here is very solid. So 2 Psychic Path, 2 Duality for consistency. 2 Terraforming, that's all I really needed. 3 Clogs, obviously, seeing, more than 1 at a time, etc. Seeing the 3rd one, obviously, that's always dead, more times than not. So, just the 2 Terraforming was very solid today. I just like that ratio. 1 Foolish Burial good, simply because I want to be able to dump my trap and be able to search. Once again, 2, not necessarily because I want to be able to see more than 1 trap, be able to play on field, so I don't always want to dump them. You know what I'm saying? So this is really it's more so just a search for extra card. That's what I treat it like. It's basically, honestly, right here, what it turns into is just Rhoda in the deck for any Psy-Frame card. So that's pretty much it. And then Raigeki for board clearance. So for spells and traps, MVP 1B. So 1A was Gamma, 1B. My opponents all day just had no answer for Psyframe Overload. Be able to pitch, my Psyframe monsters, banish them rather, and be able to banish any card on the field face down. So strong today. They just not have any answer for this. And then a lot of times they didn't want to pop it because in theory, I'm just going to search out. Obviously, you can't search out a copy of itself. That's what it cannot search out. That would be like absurdly busted. But it's just going to add back to my hand, and I'm just going to add a hand trap to hand. It's going to stop them from playing anyway. So this right here was just MVP 1B, just completely caught everybody off guard today, and then when it was on field, they just had no answer for it. So that was that. And then Solemn Brigade, 3 strikes, 1 warning, and then rounding up the deck, the 1 Macros Cosmos. Excellent card all around. Like I said, I run Field Zone, run Psychic Path, always saw those when I needed it. And once again, the tech behind this, guys, is because this really wildly does not hurt me at all, because especially if I get, like, say, 2 negates and they're getting all of their materials banished, I'm pretty much going to win the game after that, because they're just going to be at a complete disadvantage there, because now they don't have graveyard recursion, and I'm going to have board presence, as well as they're going to neg way too much to really get back in the game. That's pretty much was the case all day today, especially when I had Macros Cosmos up, and also in things like the Spiral matchup, they want to be able to get stuff back from graveyard, etc., whatnot. After they link, all those things, and when those things are not there. Same thing with the ABC matchup, etc. When those pieces are not there, it's just they really can't play the game. So Macros Cosmos was it was a last minute ad, but I'm really glad that I did, because it performed very, very well today. And that's it for the deck. Main extra deck. 3 Psyframe Lord Omega. Everybody knows what this guy does. He's so good. Really, in my opinion, the best generic synchro ever created. 1 Scarlight, because I can, obviously if it's coming off a Delta, negate a spell, bring this out, wipe my opponent's board, and then burn them. Or same thing with the monster effect, bring this out, and wipe and burn. So that was really a solid tech. Never came up, but once again, never cut it. Stardust Dragon, simply because obviously it can protect from destruction, and then instead of going back to my extra deck monster zone, it will come back to my main. But once again, also never came up, but still in there just in case they do. That's it for my 8s. 2 Zeta. This right here was honestly so strong today, especially in the Spiral matchup, because I would just get this out and banish their double helix, and I just actually kind of went on to win from there. Like the link monsters in link format, this is so tough for my opponent to get over, because they can't go to defense position. This is always going to have a target, and it just banishes their stuff off, and then they can't co-link or anything like that. So that right there just completely disrupts, and that's really what hit. This actually performed a lot better than even Omega did today. Even with the hand loop, this right here just kept my opponent from really doing anything. So double Zeta, double Black Rose to be able to blow up on my opponent's turn. Completely board wipe on my opponent's turn after they've extended into their plays and committed to the board. It's so strong, honestly. More times than not, that's just game. And then the 1 Yazi, simply because Yazi in a way can act like a Psyframe synchro, in the sense that I can have a beat stick on board, and then it can clear itself off board, and then I can get a free pop as well when I clear itself. When it clears itself, obviously, because I contributed itself to pop a card on the field. So this was really solid today. And that's it for that. And those are basically just, and then really, truth be told, you're only, going to use this, and this more times than not, and the rest of these 3 are just text, just in case they come up. So that's it for that. Everything else is just cherries targets, 1 Helix, 1 Decode Talker, 1 Toad. Nobody's playing Paleo today, but, I have a lot of friends that do play it. And then I have 3 proxies, because I have to return the cards and my buddies let me borrow. This was a Firewall Dragon. This was an ABC Dragon Buster. And then this one right here was a Ancient Fairy Dragon. And then side deck, ran 3 Ghost Wicked Winter Cherries. So strong, obviously, showed you the targets right there. So strong, especially against Spiral. One thing about Spiral is a little bit of a glass cannon, in the sense that, it loses so hard. I mean, of all decks that have been meta, this deck loses the hardest, the simple things, whatnot. So I do think, in terms of its power, I mean, don't get me wrong, Spiral can really do some busted stuff, but in terms of it as, just a general deck, I really think that, this might be like the most fragile tier 1, deck that I've, ever played against in terms of like being the best deck in the format. So, this right here really hurt them today. So, 3 of that, and honestly, anything I played against, ABC, etc. 2 Epsilon. I really want to cite this in just in case, get stuff like Trickstar or whatnot, just in case I got the reincarnation play, but never saw it today. Didn't come up, but once again, obviously, you have to keep it in just in case. 1 Maxi, didn't want to main it because the whole point of me, with my deck, I want to stop my opponent from doing anything at all. And obviously, normally, more times than not, I want to go first. That's pretty much what I really like to do, set up field spell and have, cards in hand. But just in case, obviously, if I go second, I'm only going to really be able to disrupt one thing, whether it be, monster, spell, etc., trap even, perhaps, you never know. But, and what happens is, when I don't have my field spell up, if I negate something, my Psyframe card is going to be on field. So this is going to be the one negate. And obviously, I can't continue to activate my Psyframe hand traps if I have something on the field. So therefore, this right here is what I use to apply pressure to my opponent when I have to go second. And, just in case, they don't want to keep adding, hand traps to my hand, whatnot. So this is how I apply the pressure right there with the Maxi. I really don't want to main it because I'm not going to really, if I go first, I'm not going to really allow my opponent to special summon. I don't want to allow them to do anything, and it never really comes up. So, this is good at it right here in the sideboard. And then the 1 DD Crow, saw it exactly when I needed to. Real good, I can, get quick fix out of graveyard drones, anything like that, anything you think will be problematic back in the game. I tested that too. Really didn't like because I ended up seeing at times I didn't want it. But just the 1, DD Crow for tech in the sideboard was very solid today. So that's it for the monsters inside, and then 2 system down. Obviously, this is pretty good against Spiral, and obviously devastating against your ABC. 2 Twin Twisters for back row removal. 2, anti-spell fragrance right here, just in case I saw Magicians, and I didn't, but there was a player in the tournament who was playing Magicians, but just in case I saw him. And then finally 2D Barrier. Because it's solid against pretty much everything right now. Even your Spiral exceeds it. Uses exceeds. Obviously ABC depends on fusion, whatnot. Even your Spiral does synchro as well. So this is just a solid all-around card today to perform very well. And overall, like I said, wouldn't really change anything. And any 3 facets of what I ran. It just performed so well today and it's so strong. So. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been your boy Angel, just giving you a quick locals report. Undefeated Psy-Frames, guys. If you see anything that you like, like, comment, subscribe. Any texts, any critiques, any suggestions of anything that you're running, guys, leave it down in the comment section. And as always, guys, it's been your boy Angel. May the good Lord bless you, and peace.